I am Mohammed Amir. I'm the CEO of Ames Hospitality, part of a family business group in Saudi. We are developers, investors in many sectors, including real estate and hospitality. And I sit myself in other boards with TDF, Rajhi Capital, also in developing lifestyle hotels.
Thank you. This panel is done by a developer and by an operator and third-party operator. So I would like to have the chance to give it to the floor, a possible wide view of what is the hospitality in Saudi Arabia. You are a developer. How you usually evaluate how you're investing, how you're developing? What are the criteria that you are taking consideration by you to analyze a development, to start for a development, an hospitality development?
I think the challenge previously was basically that there is no ambitious plan at the beginning. As my colleague said earlier in the last session, the Vision 2030 has already done the roadmap, and this is a big change. So you know exactly now where are you heading. Tourism has been now one of the strategic stream of business and of income to the country. So this is much easier now. There are some challenges, but again, nobody was thinking before about different type of hospitality product like the lifestyle hotel. Now the market is a need for it, and there is a push for it. And even now, operator, as also mentioned this morning, they are now bringing their offering, their brands on that segment to the market. So it's easier now to find the opportunity. It's easier now to get the financing. And from my experience, if you have the right product at the right market, and you know exactly what you are doing, and it's not only something that you're going to make money right now and just hit and run. It's something that for contributing to the all goals of the government or the vision. It's much easier than before.
What changed from before?
Regulation, for example. In 1 hour, I have a meeting with Ministry of Tourism, and they want to study how can we waive some of their regulation to ease this, because they know that you want to do something that meet the target of the country's vision. Okay, so that is easy. Before that was not easy. It's a book. You just take it or leave it. And now everybody's listening. Everybody is really contributing to this. I have told this to so many of my colleagues, also investors from outside Saudi Arabia, and they know this. Now the government agencies are being well educated to listen, to learn from the private sector, and that has never been done before.
Thank you. You have employee for the development side. How is easy in this moment to retain your employee? Because you are surrounded by entities, most of the time public entities, that especially the good guys, they are incentivized them with different salary, different package, different blah blah blah. How you are retaining you try to retain your employee, because you're expert, so who is next to you absorb your expertise, and after a certain period could be ready for different journey. How can you keep them continue motivated working with you?
I think I'm in the private sector, and I think we have been competing with the public sector. It's unfair competition. However, and again, I think what the public sector is providing the experiences for employees that are never been there before, and they will never learn it in our organization. And honestly, and I think that's good for the whole market, because people will come back to you or to my colleague, okay, with different experience, with different exposure. So I'm not really keen about how to keep them. If there is a chance of somebody to learn something new, I will push them out, actually. Go. And I know that in 2 years, 3 years, that you'll come back. Yeah, in a better position, but the most important thing is with a better experiment. And that might not be applied to, let's say, most of the manpower in a hotel, for example. Okay. But when it comes to institutions, to head office, to development, business development, PIF, for example, now is offering to the market is an experience. I myself, as a board member in one of these committees and one of these investment, and I know that things that have never been passed in my life. So the experience itself is good for the market. I don't think that we should be aware of this. Let's bring the people. They will move around. That's the cycle that usually does, and it will come back to you. It will be the benefit to everybody. It's not to me. It will come to my colleague here or there that they will benefit from.
Thank you. We are speaking later about sustainability, and is this word that means everything and means nothing. Depends on which segment you are, which part of the process you are. How you are approaching. Are you believing in sustainability in hospitality? And if yes, what are your key points to achieve that?
That's an issue I think we haven't been dealing for a long time in this community now, and I think it's important. Definitely, somebody has to go and look into this, as he said, for example, green or environment and so on. For example, a segment of the let's say the hospitality luxury resort. There's always a contradiction between environment protection things and the level of luxury that is provided, for example. And it's confusing a bit. And I think what has been done here right now in all the in the project that the government is supporting, they're doing it right. If you go to Diriyah, for example, I think that's an example of how really the quality of maintaining the green, sustainable products, materials. It's really something that's new to our culture, and we're still learning from it.
How much the implementation of the technology helped a project to be more sustainable?
I've seen it from an investment point of view, and I think probably now you have extra investment in technology and everywhere. You need to move in your product, but I think the payback is much really rewarding. In some cases, it probably reduced the manpower, the man hour of your staff, and sometimes it's basically you're exposed more and more into the market. You are easy to reach. You can have that communication with your client directly. So it's easier now to do business. It's easier now to get a hotel room or to book a resort, and you know you know exactly who is your guest and what's his behavior. And overall, though it's costly, but in the long run, that really makes your numbers much better actually.
Making one step back, from development point of view, how change your way to develop an hotel since COVID impact a lot the way how the people experience the hotel. They want more space, they want more, they want to be close to each other. How you lately have you changed your way to develop your projects? Have been impacted by what's happened recently, or it's the same, still the same way, because Saudi Arabia is a very growing market, so there is many opportunity to generate different development.
I think we were not really a big market, so we don't have that experience in developing product to the right society, the right customers. And I think there is a shift. To me, I don't see really an impact on that on our future project or future design. I think what we have changed is basically we're looking to hotel products now into something that people could enjoy. It's not something that people can socialize. And this is, again, it's all whatever, if somebody wants to study COVID and be a little bit pessimistic about it. But now people want to go out, want to be with people. If you go to a destination, for example, like Al-Ula now, and you see that is a community already. People who have gone to Al-Ula is a community. People, they know each other. It's a small city, probably a few quality hotels. But again, and this is what we do in our project. And this is why now we are so concentrating on lifestyle hotels that provide that experience for the guest. Okay, and it's definitely by the incoming inbound tourists. That is also something expected from, especially with our culture. They don't want to stay in a business hotel with standard 24 square meter of space. And we see our customers and we develop as much as they wish for. And I think the way is basically the opposite of really limiting the connection between people.
What is missing in the hospitality market in Saudi Arabia? Anything missing? Or anything can we do better?
What Muhammad this morning was doing, internship or something in hospitality. I'm talking about people and especially young people from origin from Saudi Arabia to be involved more in this field. Was also, I think, was missing when it comes to design products. I don't think we have done enough work to make sure that across all those functions, sustainable development, social places, something that will add to the journey of the customer. And I think this is something that is being done now, but in a very low scale. I think the public has to know this. The private investors have to know this and have to go for this. I sit in many committees with TDF and with other institutions, and I see only that most of the people are coming basically with very, let's say, regular, very traditional type of hotel that could be done anywhere. And heading for a product and designing for a product that could be in Riyadh, in Mauritius, or in London, or everywhere. And that doesn't work. I think somehow, and I know some of my colleagues here, designers, they understand this. And I was hoping that this will probably move forward. I think we need to educate the investment community about this.
But do you think because are the designers that are producing they're flat in terms they standardize your design, or who is need to approve the designer don't have the courage to approve a different design?
I think first of all, it's the developer. Designer will do basically what you think, but it's a designer role to.
Yeah, but you need to also, if you pay a designer, you need to give him the chance to put his experience. Otherwise, the developer are the designer. The designer need to be the designer, and the developer need to approve the design.
Yes, again, and I think that is the fit. You need probably, as an investor, you need to be coming up with a designer who's open-minded, who has seen a lot, who understand the hospitality, and hospitality doing a project in Egypt, which is it has a long history of tourism, different than designing a product for Saudi, which is now starting the experience. So it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of, and he has to understand the type of client that we are targeting in Saudi Arabia. So it is basically responsibility of both. Okay, so it's the time that developer will say, yes, I will assign you a designer to do this. He should tell him no, it shouldn't be like this, it should be like that, and he'll bring that in. And I think this is happening to an extent. I'm dealing with designers now from Middle East, from Saudi Arabia, and from abroad. Okay, and everybody now is getting, and I make sure that everyone that I deal with, they come to Saudi, they spend time, they look around, they see the behavior of the people, the behavior of the inbound travelers, and that's very important. Learning is very important process before doing a project.
Thanks. Are the Saudi, I know a lot of friends in Saudi, and many of them are architects or consultants. How much are you working with Saudi consultants, Saudi-based consultants, Saudi nationals?
We have some projects that has been designed by the Saudi consultants. Okay, in hospitality, we have done one project I could think of, and those, by the way, those design offices are developing and evolving now, and we make sure that in every project that we do, we increase learning level of everybody involved in the project, including our team. So my team comes from Saudi, other Saudi companies, some of them from designer offices. So it's the learning process that will bring. There is still few, but they are really good. I think the Saudi designers are really know, and they are connected now. They know what's happening, and they understand the culture much easier than others.
Is the solution for them, because there are many, but probably there are few at the standard that you're looking for? Is them for more to collaborate with international firm, or more to have experience abroad to gain their experience, to increase their experience? Probably there are not few, there are many, but probably there are few that a certain standard or product you are looking for. The solution is more having collaboration with local firm, international firm based in Saudi Arabia, or for them have the experience abroad?
Yes, you're right. I think the collaboration is very important, and we are doing this also.
Okay.
Some of our projects, I have a project that is targeted basically for high net worth individuals. Okay, and it's the offering is not Riyadh Jeddah. The offering is in Taif, Al Hada, up the mountain. It's very seasonal, and you need someone from that environment who knows what is the weather, how does it affect the and how it affect the design of the building, the orientation of the building, and so on. And I think, and this is what we have done basically. We have done not only this, so it's a collaboration between three of them, the two designers, international and local, and the operator. So and we have brought an operator that is his specialty actually, first time in Saudi to do something like this. So hopefully we'll see very soon. But yes, you're right. The collaboration between the different parties is very important at this stage.
Yeah, I believe there should be a commitment from both of the parties. One of the latest projects I saw that had been a success was the Opera House in Diriyah Gate. It was, I think, a Norwegian firm having it awarded in collaboration with a local Saudi firm. And that's, I believe, is a benefit for both of them, for the international to come and parachute themselves in the Saudi culture that is very rich, and for the local Saudi to work at international level.
Interesting, because I was pre-qualifying international consultant for one of our projects, and he was in London. We sat 2 days workshop with him on the process, and the due diligence, and the engineering work they do, and so on. And I found out I never heard about them before, honestly. They are big office. And I found that there are some designs, and people are working some of the details of the project in Diriyah. And I said, how do you know this? And I was amazed. He asked me not to say this because it was a competition at that time, but this is a residence in Diriyah, and they will announce it very soon, by the way. And I told him, how did you get to know what are the color scheme of the Najd style and so on? And he said, we had consultants from Saudi Arabia that helped us in this, which is very, and I think this is why I mentioned Diriyah, probably one of the landmark of doing things for the first time here.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for the honesty. Thank you, guys. Any question? Shazad.
Hi, gentlemen. I have a simple question, actually, and I know partially the answer, but it's just of interest to myself. I think you touched upon it. In today's landscape in Saudi Arabia, where you have so many projects, so many operators coming up, how do you as developers pick your partner, the operator, to go into your hotel projects? What is the criteria you're using? I mean, if I look at a 3-star, there is 30, 40 brands which are almost equal in terms of what they're offering. So what is some of the criteria you're using to sign that deal with that particular operator?
I think that's for you, Mohammed, because we are operators. So
are panelists allowed to ask questions?
Sometimes.
Okay. Okay. Next time. This is really a tough question, and I think operators are almost the same in the way they do their work. And I think what really matters is how they adapt to the environment that they're going to be working with, and that's not only in development, even in attracting human training, developing, and so on. And it's very, very easy now for somebody like me. I would know exactly now which brand fits that business or that. And we are a big country, by the way, so fits that area. That brand, I'm going to use them only for Riyadh, Jeddah, and maybe Al Khobar, but not for Mecca, not for Abha, and that sort of things. And it depends on the product type. So how do we do it? We know the market first, and we know what is the product. Okay, and then we match that with the existing brand. Now, there are some brands that are really doing well, and I think they're adapting well, and they are moving ahead, not only moving physically to Saudi, but even doing all the extra work that developer would like to see. The positioning of the property, the size, and what's the future of that project, the expansion, what could be done later, and so on. So those are really the winners, and not necessarily going to be the winners all over Saudi Arabia. They might be only in Riyadh, in business hotel, or in luxury resort somewhere around Riyadh, and so on. But in different areas, they might not have this in Mecca or in Medina, for example. So it depends really on it's a very complex process. It's a big decision, and it's a very important decision. And I would not leave it to the operator by itself. You have to have, if you are not a developer, then you have to have a developer who really understand the market, and then who understand the operation needs and the type of business that you're in.
Just to finish to implement what Shaza said, do you see your colleague, your other developer, going more for international operator or a mix between international operator and a touch of local Saudi?
Now it depends, and it's not anymore. For example, it's not anymore that you bring for example, and I mentioned because they mentioned this morning, Marriott or Hilton. It's not necessary to have a brand and the operator the same company, for example. This is something new in the market. Okay. And we, as a developer, we saw the need for white label, white flag sort of operator, third-party operator. And we have done a joint venture with an international company that we're bringing to Saudi. So it's different now. It depends on the market. So, for example, in Mecca or Medina, the holy cities, there is a need for a local operator. He will understand, and he will put his input even in design process that will meet the needs of the customer in the future. Yes, it can be Hyatt, it can be Conrad, for example, but again, that operator will be done. And I think that is an example of how a local can be adapted into the system. There are some operators also, they do their own. Somebody mentioned today Shadow House, and he's right. That's the segment that is well done. Products are well done, and it's managed very well. And I think it's missing in this market.
And also, I believe is one of the points that His Royal Highness is trying to improve, try to incentivize the local market to have their own operator. Partially also to remove market shares from the international one, and also take the knowledge from them and try to implement a new local brands and local operator.
Yes, and I think the government, the country, provide opportunity not only for the local, and I think you wouldn't probably think about Habitat coming to Saudi Arabia, for example. Okay, and it's now coming. So that's an opportunity that we never they dreamed of expanding to the Middle East. So everybody now is looking to the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Qatar, differently. So I think this market provide one of a lifetime opportunity for everybody.
Yep. Thank you guys for attending the panel.